In this video I'll show you a USB 3.0 cable. It's a 1.8 meter extension cable. One side is male and the other side is female. This is to extend a USB 3.0 or 3.2 or 3.1 hub, USB Type-C hub or USB Type-A hub, and this one is 3.0 USB 3.0 Type-A plug to Type-A socket cable. 6 feet. I didn't know that 6 feet is 1.8 meters, but now I know. It's USB 3.0 AM to AF. It's Type-A male to Type-A female. And you have inside more than 4 connectors. The USB 2.0 has 4 cables. USB 3 has more wires inside. There are 5 connections for Type 3 and 4 connections for the backwards compatibility to Type 2, to USB 2. So it has 9, should have 9 wires inside. I'm not sure if some of these wires are combined. That I didn't open the cable, so I can't say for sure, but I'm sure a quick Google search will return the number of wires on this cable, on any USB 3.0 cable. You can use this on an external hard drive. A lot of hard disks, they have a pretty short cable, a USB 3.0 hub, docking stations. You can even use an adapter from Type-C to Type-A to use it on a USB Type-C docking station or a USB Type-C hub to connect it to your desktop PC. And this is the cable. This one is pretty thick. The brand doesn't really matter as long as you see that it has good thickness to it and it has good insulation, I guess. I'm not sure. There is not really. The only way to be sure it's good is to open it if it has insulation. But yeah, it looks decently made. Has some markings on it. The connectors look really solid. The wire also looks pretty solid. It has good thickness to it. And it even has some reassuring super high speed USB revision 3.0. Yeah, that's reassuring for sure. Okay, now is the interesting part. Those are the Type 3 connections. You see there are 5 pins, and the Type 2 connections are 4 pins. So that's a quick way to see if a device is USB 2 or USB 3 and up. The USB 3 and USB 3.1 or 3.2, they have 5 connections when they are Type A and not Type C. Type C has more connections. You can plug them in to each other. I mean, it doesn't really do anything, but you can do that if you want to see if they hold well. It's a good test to see if a device is not loose when you connect it. Another cable shouldn't be loose in the connector. Usually the butt connectors, they are a bit loose from the beginning. These ones, they are really solid, so I'm really glad it's like that. Inserting one end on the front panel of the computer, but the idea of using an extension cable is to insert it on the back of the computer, the area that is not accessible. You see this flash drive has four pins in front and 5 pins. 5 pins at the back, 5 pins in front and 4 at the back. It has both 5 and 4. When it has 5, if you see 5 connections in a USB device, it's Type 3 and up. Trying to get this connected finally takes a bit of time. And maybe this is the thumbnail. It could be the thumbnail, this one. Yeah, finally getting it plugged in. It's a secure connection. Most important is that the Windows didn't recognize the device, so I realized I didn't plug it in all the way. So when you plug it, these cables, make sure they are actually plugged in all the way. That's good because it clicked when I plugged it in, so it keeps it locked in place. Now again having some troubles, but finally it's working. I plug in, I'm just showing you with the USB flash drive, but this can be anything. It could be a USB 3.0 hub or a high performance camera, a USB camera, or even a USB 2.0 device. If you need only one cable and you want it for both 3.0 devices or 2.0 devices, they work also. That's why there are connections for both USB 2.0 and USB 3.0. You see, this one is connected to the 4 pins and it works. The files show on the computer. I could use it on this recorder, but for this one I have another cable type the same type A, but it's USB 2.0 because this recorder is anyway pretty slow, so no need to waste the USB 3 cable on a slow device. What I use this for is a DIY docking station. I'm gonna put a link in the description with how I use it. It's pretty interesting to convert a USB Type-C hub to a docking station for the computer, or to convert a screen that doesn't have USB ports to add USB ports to it. Supposedly just attach the device to it. Now you see the difference, the top one, also the color, USB 3, it's usually blue, but it could be 3.1, that it's a bit teal, it's a bit lighter blue. And the most clear way is the connections. You see there you have 5 plus 4 at the back, and the black ones here, they have only 4. They can work with each other. I can connect the USB 2 extension to the USB 3, but then when I connect a device to this, it will only be USB 2 because the extra 5 wires don't go through. Makes sense? But you can use it like this if for whatever reason you wanted to have it like that. It's actually working. I mean, if you wanted an extra long USB cable, if you put too many extensions together, the signal might get a bit weak, so you might have errors, especially if you use fast hard drives to transfer files. When you use a fast hard disk, fast data transfer, the data transfer might fail if the cables are not good enough. This is the USB hub I was saying about earlier. There is a video in the description how I use this one. It's USB Type-C with an adapter. But there is a small trick about this adapter and about Type-C in general, how it works. You have to plug it in one way specifically is to get the full speed. If you plug it in the wrong way, it still works because USB Type-C is reversible, but you don't get the full speed. For some reason you get only USB 2.0 speed. And there is no marking on the adapter or on the hub. I'm not sure if this is a problem with these devices or with all devices, but this is something to think about. This could also be a bit of a weak connection, so it's not something mobile. It could be mobile, but you have to be careful not to wiggle it too much. They are pretty secure, so they don't really move too much. In this USB-C hub, I can even plug in a USB-C device like a webcam. I'm not sure if the Logitech StreamCam would work on this. I'm curious, but I think I will never find out. But yeah, the device works, and you have full-size USB Type-A, 3.0, 3.1, USB 3.0 is fast enough, it's 600 megabytes per second. That's the actual speed of the file, not the higher number. Usually, when you hear an amount of transfer, it's in megabits, and 1 byte is 8 bits. So when you hear the speed in megabits, you divide it by 8 to get the actual real speed that you see in the Windows Explorer file transfer. Most of the devices will not have such speeds anyway, and hard disks usually they don't transfer very fast. Only external SSDs and NVMe drives, those will be able to transfer fast enough. Thanks for watching, and let me know in the comment section below how you use your USB devices and what's your preferred setup, which is the best way to have these things set up. Usually there are too many adapters and too many cables. Thanks for watching.